Friendships are a cornerstone of mental health, offering support, companionship, and a sense of belonging. Yet, not all friendships are genuine. Some individuals, often labeled as fake friends, enter our lives with ulterior motives, be it for personal gain, social climbing, or superficial validation. While identifying a fake friend typically requires observing patterns over time, can we really spot them in just 5 seconds? The answer lies in the subtle interplay of psychology, body language, and intuition. In this video, we'll explore quick, evidence-based ways to detect potential fake friends during that fleeting first impression, while acknowledging the limitations and complexities of human behavior. First impressions form rapidly. Research from Princeton University suggests that within 1/10 of a second, we judge traits like trustworthiness based on facial features alone. Add a few more seconds for body language and verbal cues, and our brains construct a surprisingly detailed initial assessment. For a psychiatry audience, this aligns with the concept of thin slicing, the ability to extract meaningful patterns from minimal data, a phenomenon studied by psychologist Nalini Ambady. When meeting someone new, your mind is already scanning for authenticity, even if unconsciously. But why focus on fake friends? Inauthentic relationships can harm mental well-being, fostering mistrust, loneliness, or stress. A 2021 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that perceived inauthenticity in friendships correlates with higher levels of anxiety and lower self-esteem. Spotting red flags early, even in 5 seconds, could help protect your emotional health. What defines a fake friend? Before diving into detection methods, let's define the target. A fake friend isn't just someone who disagrees with you or has flaws. Genuine friends can be imperfect. Rather, fake friends exhibit a lack of sincerity, often prioritizing their needs over mutual care. According to Verywell Mind, common long-term signs include inconsistency, one-sidedness, and unreliability. In 5 seconds, we can't assess these fully, but we can catch early hints, microsignals that hint at deeper intentions. 5 seconds is a blink, about the time it takes to say, "Nice to meet you," and shake hands. Yet, within this window, you can observe key nonverbal and verbal cues. Here's a breakdown of quick, actionable ways to spot a potential fake friend, grounded in psychological research and clinical observations. Number 1. The power of a smile. Unmasking authenticity in human interaction. A smile is often the first thing we notice when meeting someone. It has the power to set the tone of an interaction, conveying warmth, friendliness, or even unease. However, not all smiles are created equal. Some are genuine reflections of joy, while others are carefully crafted to hide true emotions. Understanding the difference can be a crucial skill in navigating social situations, whether in personal relationships, business dealings, or casual encounters. Psychologists have long studied facial expressions and have identified 2 main types of smiles. The first is a natural, heartfelt smile, often called a Duchenne smile. This type of expression is marked not only by the movement of the mouth, but also by the subtle crinkling around the eyes, which signals true happiness. The second type is a forced or fake smile, which involves only the muscles around the mouth, while the eyes remain unchanged, making the expression appear somewhat stiff or unnatural. A quick test to determine the authenticity of a smile is to observe it for just a few seconds. Does it seem warm, effortless, and in sync with the situation? Or does it appear overly controlled, as if the person is trying too hard to project a certain image? A smile that looks mechanical or overly exaggerated may indicate that someone is masking their discomfort or attempting to create an impression that does not align with their true emotions. This is why people who frequently use forced smiles can sometimes come across as insincere or even untrustworthy. Interestingly, humans have a natural ability to distinguish between real and fake smiles, even in brief encounters. Many people can intuitively sense when an expression does not match the underlying emotion, which is why forced smiles often fail to create a genuine connection. This skill is particularly important in professions that require strong interpersonal awareness, such as psychology, counseling, and leadership roles. The ability to recognize emotional congruence, the alignment between facial expressions and true feelings, helps in identifying sincerity and fostering deeper, more meaningful relationships. Beyond professional settings, being able to read smiles accurately is beneficial in everyday life. Whether in friendships, romantic relationships, or workplace interactions, understanding these subtle cues can help us determine who is truly present and engaged versus who might be putting on a facade. While a single fake smile does not necessarily mean someone is dishonest, repeated patterns of insincere expressions could suggest a deeper issue, perhaps a habit of masking emotions, or a reluctance to express true feelings. At its core, a smile is more than just a facial expression. It is a reflection of inner emotions and authenticity. By becoming more aware of these subtle differences, we can improve our ability to connect with others, build trust, and navigate social interactions with greater confidence. The next time you engage with someone, take a moment to observe, not just their words, but also the way they smile. It may reveal more than you expect. Number 2. Eye contact. Finding the right balance. Eye contact is one of the most powerful nonverbal signals in human communication. It plays a crucial role in conveying confidence, sincerity, and engagement. When used effectively, it can foster trust and create a sense of connection between individuals. However, both too much and too little eye contact can send unintended messages, making it essential to strike the right balance in different social interactions. In many cultures, particularly in Western societies, maintaining a moderate level of eye contact, where direct gaze is held for roughly half of the conversation, signals attentiveness and trustworthiness. A person who meets your eyes naturally and comfortably is often perceived as open and engaged. However, deviations from this norm can raise questions about authenticity. If someone stares too intensely, it may come across as forced or even intimidating, as if they are trying too hard to appear interested or confident. On the other hand, if they consistently avoid eye contact, it might indicate nervousness, discomfort, or even disinterest in the conversation. A simple 5-second observation can provide valuable insights. Is the person maintaining a steady but natural level of eye contact, or do they seem to be forcing it? Are they frequently looking away as if distracted or uneasy? While neither extreme necessarily means someone is being dishonest, these nonverbal cues can offer hints about their emotional state and level of engagement. That said, it is important to consider cultural differences when interpreting eye contact. In some Asian cultures, for example, direct and prolonged eye contact, especially with authority figures or elders, is considered disrespectful rather than a sign of dishonesty. In contrast, in many Western settings, avoiding eye contact may be misinterpreted as a lack of confidence or sincerity. The social context and cultural background of the individual must always be taken into account before making any judgments. Ultimately, eye contact should feel natural and comfortable. Paying attention to this subtle but significant detail can help us better understand others, gauge sincerity, and improve our communication skills. So the next time you engage in a conversation, observe not just the words being spoken, but also the silent language of the eyes. It might reveal more than you expect. Number 3. Body language. Open or closed. Without saying a single word, our body posture communicates volumes about our emotions, intentions, and level of comfort in a given situation. Subtle shifts in the way someone positions themselves can indicate whether they are open and engaged or feeling defensive and withdrawn. Recognizing these cues can provide deeper insights into a person's true feelings, even when their words suggest otherwise. An open posture is often associated with warmth, confidence, and receptivity. Relaxed shoulders, uncrossed arms, and a body oriented towards the person they are speaking to typically indicate that someone is comfortable and genuinely engaged in the interaction. And when people feel at ease, they naturally take up space rather than shrinking or closing themselves off. This openness fosters a sense of trust and connection, making conversations flow more smoothly. In contrast, closed-off body language can suggest unease, hesitation, or even defensiveness. Crossed arms, constant fidgeting, avoiding direct orientation, or turning slightly away may indicate discomfort or a reluctance to engage fully. These physical signals can sometimes be subtle, but are often revealing. Within just a few seconds, you can observe whether someone appears physically open to you or if their body language suggests they are mentally and emotionally pulling back. However, body language should not be interpreted in isolation. While closed-off postures can sometimes hint at insincerity or reluctance, they can also stem from nervousness, social anxiety, or simply personal habits. For instance, someone struggling with social discomfort may cross their arms or fidget not because they are being dishonest, but because they feel self-conscious or uncertain. This is particularly important in sensitive situations, such as therapy or emotionally charged conversations, where reading body language requires nuance rather than rigid assumptions. Ultimately, understanding body language is about recognizing patterns rather than making snap judgments. By paying attention to these subtle signals in context, we can gain a clearer sense of what someone might be feeling and respond with greater empathy and awareness. Next time you're in a conversation, take a moment to observe, not just the words being spoken, but the unspoken signals their posture is conveying. It might help you uncover emotions that would otherwise go unnoticed. Number 4. Tone of voice, the sound of sincerity. A person's voice carries more than just words. It conveys emotion, intent, and authenticity. Even in a simple greeting, subtle vocal cues can reveal whether someone is genuinely warm and engaged or merely going through the motions. Our brains are wired to pick up on these nuances almost instantly, allowing us to sense sincerity, or the lack of it, within moments of hearing someone speak. A natural, steady, and warm tone often indicates authenticity. When someone greets you with a voice that feels relaxed and effortless, it suggests that their emotions align with their words. On the other hand, certain vocal patterns can create an uneasy feeling. An overly enthusiastic or exaggerated high-pitched tone might come across as forced, as if the person is trying too hard to sound friendly. Conversely, a flat or monotone delivery may suggest detachment, boredom, or even discomfort. One way to assess sincerity is to listen closely for just a few seconds. Does their hi or hello sound effortless, or does it feel rehearsed and unnatural? Is their tone consistent with the situation, or does it seem exaggerated or disconnected? Our instincts often catch these vocal mismatches before we consciously process them, giving us a gut feeling about whether someone's words truly reflect their emotions. This ability to detect vocal incongruities is a survival mechanism deeply rooted in our brain. Emotional processing system. When there is a mismatch between what someone says and how they say it, our subconscious picks up on the discrepancy almost immediately. This instinctive reaction helps us navigate social interactions by identifying moments when a person's tone does not align with their intent, an essential skill for detecting insincerity. However, tone alone should not be the sole measure of authenticity. Some people naturally speak with a certain pitch or energy level that may seem unusual, but is not necessarily dishonest. Others may sound distant or unenthusiastic due to fatigue, stress, or personal struggles rather than an intent to deceive. Context always matters when interpreting vocal cues. In the end, paying attention to how something is said can be just as important as listening to the words themselves. By being mindful of vocal subtleties, we can develop a better understanding of the people we interact with, strengthening our ability to differentiate between genuine connection and surface-level pleasantries. So next time you hear a simple greeting, take a moment to listen, not just to the words, but to the sincerity behind them. Number 5. Over-eagerness. Too good to be true. We all appreciate kindness and enthusiasm, but when someone seems too eager, agreeing with everything you say, offering excessive compliments, or showering you with praise almost instantly, it can feel unnatural. While warmth and friendliness are important in any relationship, there is a fine line between genuine interest and behavior that feels overly rehearsed or calculated. Sometimes, an extreme display of enthusiasm may indicate an attempt to manipulate, gain favor, or create an artificial sense of closeness. Think about interactions where someone immediately says things like, "Wow, you're incredible!" or "I've never met anyone like you," before truly getting to know you. While it may feel flattering at first, this kind of excessive admiration can be a red flag. Authentic friendships and relationships develop gradually, with interest and appreciation growing naturally over time. When someone tries to accelerate that process with grandiose praise or unwavering agreement, it may signal a deeper, less sincere motive. Observing this behavior for just a few seconds can offer valuable insight. Are they genuinely engaged in the conversation, or do they seem to be mirroring everything you say without adding their own thoughts? Do they offer compliments that feel meaningful, or do they use exaggerated flattery that seems more like a performance? A balanced and natural level of enthusiasm is a sign of sincerity, while over-the-top admiration might suggest hidden intentions. From a psychological perspective, this kind of behavior can sometimes be linked to personality traits associated with superficial charm. Some individuals, particularly those with narcissistic or histrionic tendencies, may use excessive praise as a way to create a false sense of connection or control. This is often referred to as love bombing, a tactic where someone overwhelms another person with attention and adoration to gain influence over them. While not everyone who is highly enthusiastic has bad intentions, recognizing this pattern can help prevent being misled by surface-level charm. Of course, context matters. Some people are naturally expressive or excitable, and their energy may simply be a reflection of their personality, rather than an act of manipulation. However, if someone's eagerness feels disproportionate to the depth of your relationship, it's worth taking a step back and considering whether their interest is truly genuine. In the end, the healthiest relationships, whether friendships, romantic connections, or professional partnerships, are built on mutual respect, sincerity, and balance. Enthusiasm is wonderful, but it should feel real, not forced. So the next time someone seems a little too agreeable or lavish with their praise, take a moment to reflect. Are they truly interested in you, or are they just trying to win you over? Number 6. Inconsistency. When words and actions don't match. We often take people at their word, but sometimes the most revealing insights come not from what is said, but from how it is said, and whether their actions align with their statements. Inconsistencies between words, tone, and body language can be subtle but telling. Within just a few seconds, you might notice small discrepancies that hint at deeper truths. Imagine someone saying, "It's so nice to meet you," while their body turns slightly away, their arms remain crossed, or their expression lacks warmth. The words may sound friendly, but their nonverbal cues tell a different story. When what we hear doesn't match what we see, it creates a sense of dissonance, an uneasy feeling that something is off. While occasional mismatches can happen for innocent reasons, repeated inconsistencies might suggest insincerity or internal conflict. Research in communication suggests that nonverbal signals, such as facial expressions, tone of voice, and body posture, often carry more weight than words alone. People naturally pick up on these cues, even without consciously realizing it. If someone's expressions and gestures don't align with their speech, we instinctively question the authenticity of their message. Spotting these inconsistencies isn't about being overly skeptical, but about noticing patterns. Does their tone sound forced when they express excitement? Do their eyes look disengaged when they claim interest? Does their posture seem closed off, despite their words being welcoming? Genuine communication tends to feel effortless and congruent, whereas insincere interactions often have small cracks that reveal the truth. That being said, it's important not to jump to conclusions too quickly. Some people may struggle with expressing emotions outwardly, while others might be preoccupied or anxious, leading to unintentional inconsistencies. However, when someone repeatedly says one thing but acts differently, it may be a sign to pay closer attention. At the core of meaningful connections is alignment, when words, actions, and emotions all tell the same story. By becoming more aware of these subtle discrepancies, we can navigate social interactions with greater clarity and discernment. The next time you meet someone, observe beyond their words, because what they do often speaks louder than what they say. Number 7. Gut instinct. Your brain's built-in alarm system. Sometimes, without knowing exactly why, we get a feeling that something is off about a person or situation. This gut instinct isn't just a vague emotion. It's a rapid, subconscious response to subtle social cues, that our brains process faster than we can consciously articulate. Even in just a few seconds, your intuition may pick up on inconsistencies, micro-expressions, or behavioral red flags that your rational mind hasn't yet put into words. This instinctive reaction is deeply rooted in human survival. The brain's emotional processing center is constantly scanning for signs of trustworthiness, authenticity, and potential threats. Long before we consciously analyze a situation, our minds have already gathered and assessed countless nonverbal signals: tone of voice, facial expressions, body language, and overall demeanor. When something doesn't align, we feel a sense of unease, even if we can't immediately explain why. But should you always trust your gut? The short answer: yes, but with awareness. While intuition can be a powerful tool for social judgment, it works best when combined with mindful observation. Quick gut reactions are often accurate, especially when they are based on experience and pattern recognition. However, biases, past experiences, or even personal mood can sometimes cloud intuition. This is why pairing instinct with logical reasoning is essential. Instead of dismissing a gut feeling outright, ask yourself, what exactly feels off? Is it their tone, their body language, a mismatch between their words and expressions? Identifying these signals can help refine your judgment. At the end of the day, trusting your instincts doesn't mean being paranoid or making snap judgments, but rather being attuned to the subtle messages your brain is already processing. When something feels wrong, it's often worth taking a closer look. The ability to balance intuition with careful observation can help you navigate relationships and interactions with greater clarity and confidence. So next time you meet someone and get a strong gut reaction, whether positive or negative, pause and listen to it. It may just be your brain's way of protecting you from something you haven't yet fully understood. So, there you have it. 7 quick ways to spot a fake friend in just 5 seconds. From fake smiles to that gut feeling that something's off. Remember, these are starting points, not final verdicts. So keep observing and trust yourself to build the real connections that matter. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more mental health insights, and let us know in the comments, what's your go-to trick for spotting fakeness? See you in the next video.